I first want to say thank you to Nancy Cantor, president of Hunter College, for having us here today. It is a privilege to be here as we take the next big step forward into our mayoral transition. And it feels fitting to be standing in the very place where FDR shaped his own presidential transition and where he and his team devised the foundation of the New Deal, including Social Security. I've said many times that, above all, my politics is one of consistency. When we launched our campaign in October of last year, we made clear that it would be focused on tackling the affordability crisis that devastates far too many working New Yorkers across these 5 boroughs. Those who work from dusk until dawn, and still, it isn't enough. But that consistency extends beyond our policy priorities. Nothing has been more unwavering within this movement than our commitment to excellence. Excellence was the rubric around which we built our campaign team, and it will be the framework through which we approach every governing decision. And excellence is not abstract. It will be reflected in the highest levels of City Hall and the advisors who most shape my decision-making. Today, I am proud to announce my first deputy mayor and my chief of staff, 2 leaders who have deep experience guiding our city and state through challenging moments, possess the fresh, innovative ideas needed to transform our city, and the expertise to help me deliver on the campaign promises that resonated with more than 1 million New Yorkers a little over a week today. First, I want to announce my first deputy mayor, Dean Fuleihan. Except that I know for many, he will require no introduction. I'm grateful to him for returning to public service, and I know he has chosen to do so because he believes in our administration's ability to deliver universal childcare, making the slowest buses in America fast and free, and freezing the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants in this city. Dean has been an incredibly influential leader and manager in New York City government and state government for almost 5 decades. No one is better versed in how city government functions, how it engages productively with leadership in Albany, or has a deeper understanding of how to achieve positive outcomes from even the most challenging of situations. When Dean began his career in New York politics in the late 70s, the Bronx was burning. Over his decades of service in the Assembly, he rose to manage negotiations over the budget process and stewarded our state into a period of financial stability. Few have as much experience leading from City Hall. Having served as Director of Operations for Mayor Giuliani, he later served as Mayor de Blasio's Budget Director from 2014 to 2018. And the role of First Deputy Mayor will not be foreign to him. He served in this position under Mayor de Blasio after leading OMB, and ran the city whenever Mayor de Blasio was not in the city. I will turn to Dean for counsel not only for his wealth of managerial experience, but also because of the similarity between our visions for this city. Dean is a child of Lebanese immigrants, and like me, he has seen our city through the prism of the immigrant experience and knows well that there are many New Yorkers who our leaders never tend to. I've been deeply impressed by how fiercely he shares my belief that this city must be one that works for the many instead of just for the privileged few, and how committed he is to enacting this agenda. We know that the scope of that agenda is a vast one, and so too are the numbers of those who would wish it to fail. I speak not only of those who have benefited from this broken politics, but also those of our president and his federal government, who will not only want to see a failure in the delivery of these agenda items, but also an inability of our administration to live up to that which we ran on. Dean's steadiness, his managerial competence, and his clarity of vision will support me as we take on those who would wish this to be a continuation of politics as it has been, and instead deliver what politics can be in this city that we call home. I also want to announce my incoming Chief of Staff, the unparalleled Elle Bisgaard-Church. Few have played a more central role in this movement, or in every victory we achieved together in the Assembly, than Elle. She became my Assembly Chief of Staff nearly 5 years ago to the day, worked closely with me to win hundreds of millions of dollars in relief for taxi drivers, and served as the campaign manager for our historic primary campaign. Anyone who knows Elle knows her as someone unapologetically committed to the cause of improving the lives of working people. These are not just the political positions that she holds, they are deeply humanistic principles from which she never strays. For all of us who have been fortunate enough to work alongside her, Elle is our moral compass, our brilliant strategic center, and a genuinely kind and selfless person. As my Chief of Staff, Elle will remain intimately involved in every decision we make, from who joins the administration, to how we enact our agenda, to how we ensure that government remains accessible and transparent to every New Yorker. And together, alongside Dean, she will be responsible for ensuring that our commitment to excellence remains inviolable, and that City Hall remains what we have sought to make it, a shining beacon of good governance across the city, across the state, and across this country. I know that many have watched our victory with fascination and excitement. My goal is that the triumph we won last Tuesday to quickly be subsumed under the drumbeat of achievements that we deliver from City Hall, achievements that make immediate, meaningful differences in the lives of New Yorkers too often forgotten and ignored by those who have held positions such as these. These leaders alongside me are only the first of many that we will announce. I hope their reputations and records of accomplishment are proof of intent to deliver tangible change. This is a moment of opportunity that comes along rarely, and we seize upon it to usher in a new day for New York. Thank you, and I would now like to introduce my Chief of Staff, Elle Bisgaard-Church.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor-elect. My name is Elle Bisgaard-Church, and I am so proud to stand here to accept the role as Chief of Staff for the incoming Mamdani administration. It is an immense honor to serve the people of this city. It has been emphasized that the mayor-elect and I belong to a new generation. That's true. And as we work to turn the page on a politics devoid of ambition and beholden to special interests, it is incumbent on us to fill this administration with experienced people at all levels who have been on the right side of this fight. I am thrilled to be working closely with First Deputy Mayor Dean Fuleihan. The incoming administration offers bold vision combined with determined realism. We are imaginative in our outlook, energized by the work and to work very hard, and deeply invested in the future of this great city, because we will be here a long time. New Yorkers rejected the argument that they shouldn't expect much from their leaders in this election, that they shouldn't expect rigorous ethical standards from City Hall or demand competency, efficiency, and transparency at every level of their government. New Yorkers were asked, lower your hopes, accept slow buses, soaring housing costs, and unaffordable childcare, because that's just how things are. New Yorkers responded decisively to this grim and unimaginative politics. 1 million people said last week that they want more from City Hall, that they expect better from their leaders. They said loudly and clearly, it is not asking too much that New York be a place people can afford to live. The mayor-elect has received a democratic mandate. We take seriously the responsibility of this mandate and all that it will take to run the city well. We will work relentlessly to make good on our campaign promises. During my tenure, I promise that this administration will be open-minded, strategically oriented, and pragmatically focused. We will be open to new ideas because we know the old ones aren't working. Anyone who wants to contribute to our shared project of building a better New York for all its citizens has our ear. It won't make the news every day when a family enrolls in a childcare program or a 311 housing inspection is resolved quickly, or whenever our parks are clean, safe, and full of people. Such things won't make the news because such things won't be remarkable. They will be ordinary, part of the texture of daily life, part of what people have come to expect. Public flourishing is not an easy thing to quantify, but that doesn't make it less real. We succeed when people take pride in living here. We are winning when communities are resourced and resilient, when everyone has enough of their basic needs fulfilled to live happily and freely. I want to thank my family and my community for their unflagging support, and I want to acknowledge the incredible commitment of our volunteers and coalition members who powered this campaign to victory, and who will help us to realize our shared vision for an affordable, flourishing New York City. And now, it is my pleasure and honor to welcome the Mamdani administration's first Deputy Mayor, Dean Fuleihan.
Thank you, Elle. Thank you, the mayor-elect. Thank you for the generous comments, but thank you for the privilege of joining the administration and the trust you're placing me to serve our city. I am proud to be returning to City Hall as your first deputy mayor. New Yorkers elected you because they know you will build an administration of energy, ideas, and experience. And thank you for making the announcement in the Roosevelt House and at CUNY. I have been very fortunate, for those who may have lost track, for the last 3 years to be a part of this amazing academic institution as a senior fellow at the CUNY Institute for State and Local Governments. I am very grateful to the leadership at CUNY and the Institute. It's always worth stating that CUNY is a major part of the fabric and the success of our city, one that uniquely reflects the diversity and strengths of our city. I'm so pleased to begin this mission. Partnering with Elle after her role in an amazing campaign, partnering with an accomplished transition team, including several former colleagues who have dedicated so much to improving our city. I have to mention Mel Hartzog, who's both a close friend and colleague, who I had the honor of bringing back into city service. I was exceedingly fortunate to work as first deputy mayor and budget director during the de Blasio administration, working as part of an exceptional team on many successful efforts, including UPK and through the crisis of the pandemic. I was also very fortunate to work for 4 assembly speakers in Albany in a senior capacity, eventually running both the Ways and Means staff and the program staff, directing them through numerous state budgets and serious economic challenges. I am confident that my experience can be useful to the mayor-elect and this team. And I know, there's no way to doubt it, after what we've seen, it will be a dedicated, effective team implementing the serious agenda of addressing affordability in New York. I look forward to being part of a city government that looks like New York City and understands what it means to be a New Yorker. Like so many in our city, and the mayor-elect mentioned it, I come from an immigrant family. My father, an immigrant from Lebanon, my mother, whose parents immigrated from Lebanon, and her first language Arabic. They struggled and succeeded and instilled in my brothers and me a deep sense of public service and a commitment to providing others that same opportunity. The same is true of my wife's parents, who both immigrated from Korea. The mayor-elect has provided that same hope in every message throughout the campaign. I am one of the many that was deeply inspired by that message of hope. I firmly believe in this agenda, and I am proud to join a team that will be devoted to this agenda and will work every day to make it happen. Again, thank you so much for this privilege.